Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Cruise Web featuring Avalon Waterways River Cruising. We appreciate you joining us today. The topic we are discussing for this webinar is Active and Discovery River Cruises with Avalon Waterways, an award-winning river cruise company. My name is Susan Gaines, and I am the Business Development Manager for Avalon Waterways and the Globus family of brands. Our company has been travel partners with the Cruise Web for a very long time. We work closely with the team, so they know our product inside and out, and you can rest assured you are in good hands when you book with them. The Cruise Web team are travel professionals. They know how to make vacation planning as painless and seamless as possible, with a result for you of the best vacation experience with memories to last a lifetime. During the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to type them during the presentation in the little chat box, and I'll get to them at the end. I am thrilled to have the opportunity to present to you Avalon Waterways, Active and Discovery River Cruising. I personally myself have been on several types of these cruises, and I am a huge, huge fan. River cruising is such a wonderful way to see the world. So much right off of the banks of the rivers to see. It's really smooth sailing. You can barely even feel the ship moving as you glide along the rivers and watch the beautiful scenery as the ships pass by. You're just footsteps away from the most iconic cities of all of Europe, and a hop, skip, and a jump from the unique ports of call with so much history, fascinating people, and gorgeous landscapes. You know you will be able to be thoroughly enjoying yourself on an Avalon Waterways river cruise. However, the challenge is going to be, which one will I choose first? Let me share with you a short video, an overview all about Avalon Waterways.
The same company that reinvented river cruise ships with spacious rooms, huge windows, one-of-a-kind open-air balconies, and beds that face the ever-changing views outside, just reinvented the river cruise experience. Now you can choose 3 different ways to enjoy each destination, all as included excursions. You can choose to tour the classic sites and take in the stories. Or you can immerse yourself a bit deeper into local culture with an off-the-beaten-path discovery, a wine or beer tasting, or hear stories of local legend and lore. For the more adventurous souls, you can jump on a bike, paddle a canoe, or take a hike. Avalon has made it possible for you to cruise your way. We've also opened up a world of possibilities when it comes to dining, allowing you to choose where you'd like to dine, from an alfresco lunch in our open-air sky grill to a more elegant dinner in our glass-walled dining room, or a petite plate in our panorama bistro. You can also choose when you'd like to dine. Our travel choices allow you to custom design your cruise, so you're always doing exactly what you want to be doing. Let us introduce you to the magic of the world, and you can experience it any way you'd like, with all the possibilities aboard Avalon Waterways.
Well, if we haven't quite enticed you enough to want to go on an Avalon Waterways river cruise yet, let me give you a few more reasons why to choose Avalon. Avalon Waterways offers more ways for you to discover the rivers of Europe all year round. We also have greater flexibility. Our itineraries range from 4 to 23 days, offering travelers a wide selection of vacations to suit the variety of needs and schedules. We have a great ability for you to offer affordability, okay? Avalon Waterways provides river cruise vacations that are priced from starting just at $10.99 per person. We offer more customization. Our exclusive Avalon Choice Excursion menu offers vacation personalized with a variety of selections from classic, active, and discovery sightseeing options. And an Avalon Adventure host is on board, on hand with all of your onboard and on your own activities and adventures. Avalon Waterways is the only river cruise company that offers active and discovery river cruises, a collection of those itineraries with a selection of more active and culturally immersive experiences. We provide you with more time because you can cruise your way with Your Way Cruising. Avalon Waterways is the only river cruise company that invites travelers to seamlessly add time in European vacation cities with included sightseeing and transfers before and after each cruising vacation. No other river cruise company provides travelers with an entire fleet of suite ships featuring our one-of-a-kind panorama suites with the open-air balconies and the beds that face the view on 2 full decks. Can you imagine that? A bed that faces the view as you cruise by. Our travel bookings automatically come with a peace of mind travel policy free of charge for 21 and 22. This plan allows you to have a little bit more flexibility to move your booking or destination, vacation, or brand if needed before final payment. This is something that's so special and so important right now in our times. Now, bigger isn't always better, right? Our low passenger count and our high crew attention results in higher guest satisfaction. Avalon Waterways floating boutique style hotels basically in Europe hold either 128 or 166 passengers. And while fellow passengers, maybe their numbers are low, but Avalon's onboard crew ratio is high. In fact, on every ship, the average guest to crew ratio is 3-to-1. That means our guests and crew members easily and happily can cater towards every one of your needs at every moment of the day. No other fleet offers river cruise ships with the views of the world like an Avalon Waterways suite ship does, featuring our panorama suites. They're 30% larger than the industry standard, and they create river cruising's only open air balcony with nothing between you and the view. You can cruise your way. We've designed our river cruise experience with you in mind. That's why each and every cruise comes with a wide variety of options, enabling you to cruise your way. From inclusions of choices on shore excursions, optional excursions, to independent discovery, you will find the experience of your destination to be yours. We are excited to announce that Avalon Waterways river cruise ship, the Envision, was named the best river cruise ship by USA Today's Reader's Choice Awards. Cruise Critic, who's the ultimate authority in river cruising, designated Avalon as the best cabins in river cruising for 4 years running, and were voted best river cruise line in the last sailing right before COVID. For those of you who might not be familiar with our award-winning panorama suites, well, wow, you are going to be blown away. Here is the view you will have. There are 200 square feet of floor-to-ceiling glass that opens up to create an open-air balcony. Your bed faces the view, so you will never miss out on a moment of the scenery. The ships are designated with larger staterooms, which results in less passengers on board. So that means there's more room for all to spread out and to really enjoy all throughout the ship. At Avalon, we've brought back that question of, hey, where should we eat, to the cruise ship experience. You can choose from options like a breezy alfresco sky lunch at the Sky Grill, or an elegant 4-course dinner in our glass wall dining room, or maybe a more casual culinary setting in the Panorama Bistro. If you're not a morning person, how about a complimentary continental breakfast delivered to your room via room service? We'll even do a made-to-order picnic lunchbox for your independent onshore excursions. Whichever setting you choose, you'll savor the local flavors as well as the familiar favorites that you'll fall in love with. With Avalon Waterways, we are part of the Globus family of brands, and under our umbrella, we have 3 different types of touring, so you can easily add on to your river cruise experience. Globus First Class Touring, our Monogram's independent way of traveling, or Cosmos affordable traveling. You can customize your vacation in a number of ways. Just looking at this itinerary, you could add Amsterdam with Avalon. With Monograms, you could add Paris, London, Lucerne, Lake Como, and Milan. or even at a Globus Spectacular Switzerland tour. There are so many options to customization. Avalon Waterways has designed and included excursions onboard activities for your choice of experiences. We invite your guests to select tours, activities, and events, and that kind of is in their interest of what interests them most. So with this, our experience, you can cruise your way. Here's a recap of the options offered on each and every Avalon Waterways cruise. You can see the world your way with Avalon Choice with our Classic, Discovery, and Active options. Classic, here you can get up close and personal with the iconic places you've always dreamed of seeing. With local expert guides, you'll have preferred access to those famous sites, insider information on local legends and lore, and that true heritage behind the history. For discovery options, you could pull up a chair and hear a Viennese waltz, roll up your sleeves to paint like Van Gogh, or grab an apron to whip up a local recipe. Discover the world's simple pleasures and grand artistry from the famous galleries to farmhouse kitchen tables. Our active options greet the day with a bike ride. Maybe you want to hike to the Hilltop Castle or do a kayak excursion. If you're up for an active adventure, adventure is up to you. Cruise critics chose Avalon Waterways as the best shore excursions in 2019, or right before the pandemic hit. Our Avalon Waterways adventure hosts are available on every suite ship in Europe, and our hosts there to spend their time helping you, our travelers, explore those heart-pumping discoveries on and off the ship. With the help of the adventure hosts, Avalon guests can check out one of the 16 bikes on board of all of our ships for a scenic ride through town. They could grab a Nordic walking stick and hike to the hillside vineyard or castle, or you can enjoy a complimentary fitness or strength conditioning class, including yoga, on the sky deck or in the panorama lounge with your adventure hosts. Free time is important, and especially when you're on vacation. Avalon makes it easy to make the best use of your free time on shore with our Avalon Go mobile app. It is completely complimentary, and you will love having information about the local eateries, shopping, sightseeing, and more just right in the palm of your hand. The Avalon Go also gives you directions with our navigation system, so you'll never be lost in your new place. Now let's talk more specifically about the active and discovery cruising. Everybody travels to see new things, right? But many travel to do things as well. You want to do and see. With our active and discovery river cruises, Avalon offers activities for travelers with varying interests for all energy levels and all fitness levels too. From action-packed experiences and interactive discoveries to traditional sightseeing, you can tailor a vacation to suit your needs and special interests and pace. Our itineraries include active and discovery on the Danube, the Rhine, the Rhone, and the active and discovery in Holland and Belgium. And new for 2022, active and discovery are on the Seine as well as the Moselle. Here are just a few of the things that make the active and discovery cruises different from what else is in the marketplace. We stop in more unique ports. So if you've seen the Rhine before, you'll be in a new location where you haven't stopped before. You'll spend more time in that port, so you'll really delve into the destination. Less time in between ports, so you'll be seeing and doing more, and we'll show you that on the map. You'll have more day sailing, so you can enjoy the sights from the ship, and there'll be more active and discovery excursion options. Now, let's take a look at two of our itineraries, the active and discovery versus the romantic Rhine or itineraries. Both are beautiful itineraries. Both are 7 nights on the beautiful Avalon suite ships. But there are 9 different ports on the active discovery Rhine. So that means even if you've sailed the romantic Rhine before, our active and discovery cruises will be entirely different trip. You'll have less time between the ports, meaning you'll see and do more, and more day sailing, which means the scenery will be enjoyed while you're relaxing on board. So let's do a basic breakdown of our classic itineraries on the left here. This is anything that's not labeled as an active and discovery river cruise. You can expect that 80% of the excursions will be deemed classic. You'll have 20% of them that'll be considered either active or discovery options. Then if you take a look at our active and discovery pie chart here, you'll notice that 40% of the excursions will be active, 40% will be discovery, and 20% classic. So when you see that breakdown, you'll see there'll be a higher concentration of active and discovery with the active and discovery river cruises. Now, don't worry, you don't need to be super active or a marathon to have the right balance with an active and discovery cruise. So who is right for an active discovery cruise? Anybody who's new to river cruising. These cruises are perfect for clients who thought that who thought that river cruising might be a little bit too sedate for them. It's great for multi-generational families. With active, discovery, and classic excursion options, these cruises are great for multi-generations because there's really something for everyone, every fitness level, and every interest. And for seasoned travelers, for seasoned river cruises, this unique excursions and ports of call, they're perfect for anyone that's been there, done that, but can repeat a river and see and do things they've never done before. Now let's take a look at our itineraries. I'll point out a few highlights on each, starting with our very first active and discovery cruise that we had, the active and discovery on the Danube. This is an 8-day tour from Linz to Budapest, or you can do it in reverse. Now there's way too many options to talk about during this presentation, so I'll highlight just a few for each itinerary. So whether you feel like browsing the art collection of Habsburg Empire, sipping the local vintages at an Austrian wine tasting, or canoeing with us on an excursion, your active and discovery Danube River cruise is packed with Avalon choice inclusions. They're perfect for every pace and preference in every place that we go. You can sample cheese and beer made by Trappist monks and explore their abbey gardens. You can choose an insider's tour of Vienna or choose to join a canoe excursion. Enjoy everything from a wine tasting to a hike to Count Dracula's prison tower to a visit to Belvedere's palace in Vienna, where you can see Klempe's renowned artwork, The Kiss. Now, I had the opportunity to participate in this itinerary, and I did the Medieval Knights tournament at Visegrad Castle, and this was just so much fun. During the event, you can travel back to resplendently colorful Middle Ages, and this is a spectacular tournament that illustrates how the knights fought for the grace of the king and queens in Visegrad in the 14th century. The show even has a flying royal hawk with an addition to the tour. And at the closure of the event, our guests have the opportunity to try out the medieval weapons with the help of the knights. One of my favorite excursions was the Wine World experience. Here, you'll take a journey of the different kinds of ways to discover the fascination of wine. This Wine World experience takes you to an 8-stop trail along the Sand Group 13, which is one of the best wine tasting venues in the world. You'll learn about the Wachau region as well as its wines with all of your senses. Now moving on to our next itinerary, this is the active and discovery on the Rhine. This is 8 days from Frankfurt to Amsterdam or reverse. You'll visit the museum Chocolate Museum in Cologne and take a guided tour of Bites and Highlights in Dusseldorf and taste the local regional wines in Eltville. In Koblenz, you can take a cable car ride up to Eprenstein Fortress for a magnificent view of the surrounding areas. On board, you'll pass through the magnificent Rhine Gorge and enjoy the specialty dishes while cruising and seeing over 100 castles all throughout the Rhine Gorge. For a unique experience, join us on an excursion to Lava City and Mendig for a volcano experience. This is exploring the caverns and corridors where basalt, cold lava, was mined. Tour the labyrinth of mining corridors, which in the early 19th century became the beer cellars. Visit Nijmegen's 12th century commandery, which is a fascinating cooking workshop featuring long forgotten European recipes and ingredients. Insights on how the experts rediscovered them and had a chance to create and taste those delicious final products. Our next itinerary is the active discovery on the Rhone. 8 days from Point St. Louis to Lyon, or you can do it in reverse as well. Your active and discovery river cruise is full of inclusions from port you visit all along the Rhone River. You can visit an oyster farm, bike through Camargue Region National Park to spot those flamingos, take a painting workshop in Arles, take a kayak excursion or linger in the Corner Cafe, stroll Avignon's Papal Palace, or attend a wine tasting in the underground cave. Admire the lovely views of the countryside or join a culinary walk to discover architecture and local specialties, or take a cooking class in Lyon. With so many included choices, you'll find the perfect way to spend your day. From a ghost tour in Viviers to a guided bike ride through the Gare region to chocolate factory tour. Have the ability to take a cooking class and learn how to make your own Lyonnaise specialty, or choose a guided kayak trip down the Gorge de Liège in the spectacular canyons of the Rhone tributary. Our next itinerary is the Active Discovery in Belgium. It's an 8-day round trip in Amsterdam, beginning in Amsterdam and sail the Middelburg for a variety of excursions from the classic to active to discovery inclusions. Continue to Belgium to marvel at the artistry and the natural beauty of the region. In Brussels, walk the ancient streets and sample treats of the Belgian chocolate making workshop. Experience by bike your own guided tour. In Antwerp, discover centuries of history. Experience the Red Star Line Museum, where brave immigrants boarded the ocean liners for America long ago, and see the stunning altarpiece made by Rubens in the cathedral there. Take an architecture tour by bicycle to Rotterdam, or create the classic Delft pottery in the pottery workshop. Return to Amsterdam and enjoy the colorful canals of this beautiful city. In Amsterdam, you can choose a discovery option of your inner artist, joining the painting class to discover some of the secrets of the famous names like Van Gogh, Rembrandt, or Warhol. And of course, the artwork is yours to take home. You can join a biking tour through the Dutch countryside, where you'll pass polders, dikes, and quaint century-old villages. This was one of my favorite tours that I took on this trip. New for 2022, we had the Active and Discovery on the Seine, a 9-day round trip Paris. Your vacation here in France begins with a night in Paris, the City of Lights. You'll cruise to Caudebec and take an excursion in Normandy. Continue to Rouen for a walking tour of the village where Joan of Arc was martyred, as well as the famed Notre Dame Cathedral and the astronomical clock. Sail on to Les de Lyon, and you'll have plenty of choices here, from a guided tour to a hike to visit the Lyons La Fleur. In Vernon, enjoy a walking tour or experience the city by bike. Next, you'll cruise to Conflans, the home of Van Gogh and Bonaparte, to see both provincial inspirations for the artist's paintings. The home of the opulent emperors, you'll experience the grandeur of the opulent home of Bonaparte, and your cruise along the Seine will return you back to Paris, where you can discover the true heart of Paris on a guided walking tour with the sights of Paris's rich history, or experience the city by bike, or enjoy a food walking tour. Now, have you ever wanted to learn how to make the legendary Chantilly cream? The Brotherhood of the Whipping Knights is there to promote this historical and culinary heritage on an excursion to the Chantilly Castle. Their goal is to teach you how to whip up the perfect, real Chantilly cream by hand. Join us on a guided hike to the castle ruins of Chateau Gaillard, the historic home of King Richard the Lionheart, and experience this masterful medieval military architecture. Last but not least, let's go on to another new itinerary for 2022, which is the Active and Discovery on the Moselle. This is an 8-day tour from Remick to Frankfurt. Now, if you're someone who feels like you've been there, seen it, done everything, this is the perfect itinerary for you. You'll board the Avalon Sweet Ship in Remick, enjoy an excursion to the historic Luxembourg city, or choose a canoe excursion to the Moselle, or visit the Shannon with a taste of local products. Enjoy a guided walking tour in the charming village of Berchtesgaden, or you can taste some of the wine's best regions in the area. the wine in the region, excuse me. Continue on to the picturesque town of Cochem, where you'll visit Reichenberg's castle and stop in the ancient Clobans, where you'll enjoy a guided walking tour, visit a local brewery, and you could participate in a kayak excursion. You'll sail the Rhine River to the quintessential Rhine Valley town of Rudesheim. Your river cruise will end in Frankfurt, where you'll be able to join a guided sightseeing tour of the city, visit Frankenstein Castle, or perhaps take a bike tour along the river banks of the Main and the Nida rivers. Join a guided tour of the famous local brewery, whose reputation is based on their traditional way of making these beautiful, tasty beers following those old recipes. Afterwards, you're going to taste the classic brewed beers here too. Or you could paddle a canoe with a guided tour to a whole new perspective of the Moselle River and its fascinating shorelines. Wow. I'm sure that you can see all these beautiful itineraries that we have, and the challenge for you again is just going to be, which one are you going to enjoy? And we've kind of been in a world right now that's changed. I'm sure we can all agree on that. But what remains certain is Avalon Waterways' commitment to our guests' safety, comfort, and peace of mind. To that end, we've established a whole enhanced onboard protocols and procedures that are going to be making a thorough, beautiful experience for you, called our Avalon Insurance Program. And this will ensure your health, happiness of all of our guests throughout the cruise. For more information, you can always reach out to the Cruise Web for details. Now, before we get to your questions, let me recap with a video that I think will remind you of all the reasons why you want to choose an Avalon Waterways Active and Discovery River Cruise.
Why do we travel? Is it to see new things? Or to try new things? Is it to go back centuries? Or to be in the moment? Is it to take pictures? Or to take action? We travel to see the works of sculptors and painters and to imitate their techniques. We travel to meet bakers and chefs and to saute in their kitchens. We travel to meet farmers, vintners, and brewers and to taste their divine secrets. We go out into the world to forge new paths and to discover old ones. We follow sweet aromas, alluring fragrances, and complex bouquets. We pedal and paddle, jog and climb, dabble and dance, and even march to the beat of our own drum. We journey to examine and explore, to listen and learn, and to engage and enjoy, with hands-on and hands-off. We travel to walk in the footsteps of all who have come before us, warriors and soldiers, emperors and kings, sailors and sirens, architects and builders, none of whom, by the way, were ever bystanders. So when we travel, why should we be? Engage, interact, indulge, only on Active Discovery Cruises, exclusively from Avalon Waterways.
All right, I think by now you must want to join us for sure on an Active and Discovery Avalon Waterways River Cruise. Keep in mind that we have some incredible savings when you book early. Reach out to the Cruise Web. They have all the details on it for you. Okay, now let's get to a few of your questions. We have some good ones here, so let's get to those. Is there a limit of how many times I can do an active or a discovery tour excursion on the cruise? Okay, perfect question. At each port, you will have your choice of an active, discovery, or a classic excursion to choose from. You can choose these 90 days before departure, or you can choose them when you get on board. But yeah, you can make a decision. You can choose active every single time we stop. You can choose discovery every single time we stop, depending on what ones are being offered to you. Okay, next question. How does it work with using the bikes on board the ship during your free time? Okay, so we have 16 bikes on board Avalon Waterways Suite ships. 4 of them typically are going to be electronic bikes. And all the bikes are basically on a first come, first serve basis, along with all of our fitness equipment, like the Nordic walking sticks and things like that. So during your free time, you can choose to use these. Just reach out to the adventure hosts and sign up with them. It's a first come, first serve basis, but you'll be able to enjoy them, and it's great. And these bikes are in addition to any bikes that we have that's going to be on an excursion that we take off of the ship. All right. We are approaching our limit here, so I'm just going to do one more question. But if we don't get to your question, someone from the Cruise Web will follow up with you and answer any of your questions. Just reach them at 800-377-9383. Okay, last question. I have a gluten-free diet. Do you have menu items that can accommodate me? Our chefs are fantastic. They will meet with you. Just let us know ahead of time what your dietary restrictions are. Our menu items list gluten-free as well as vegetarian options, but we can cater to almost every dietary need that's out there. Just work with the chefs and we will find options that will be perfect for you, that will be tasty and work within your restrictions. All right, everybody. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us. We are happy to have been able to tell you all about the Active and Discovery Avalon Waterways River Cruise. Thanks to the team at the Cruise Web for having us. And we sure hope to see you on an Avalon Waterways River Cruise real soon.